So I'm going to solve Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics Paper 3 core in a session October-November 2024, Paper 3-1. So let's start with the first question. Question number 1, Part A, write the number 6,030,000 in figures. So it is 6,000,000, 6, 0, 0, 0, 0, and 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 zeros. 6 million, million has 6 zeros, and 30 at the end we have to just write down 30. Part B, write this number correct to 2 decimal place. So these are the 2 decimal place, right? 7 stays the same, point, and 8 stays the same. So this is 9, and the next digit is 6, so it is more than 5. When 6 is more than 5, so we have to add 1 in 9 to make it 10. So to make it 10, so 89 becomes 90. So this is 7.90. Now for part C, from this list of numbers, write down number 1, a multiple of 16. Okay, 16. 16 times 1 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. 32 is not here. 16 times 3 is 48. 48 is over here. Yes. 48. 16 times 3 is 48, which is a multiple of 16. So that number. Second part, a factor of 24. 24 factors. Okay. So 8 is divisible by 24. Yes. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 is a factor of 24. 24 is a factor of 24, not the rest of the numbers. The third part, a cube number, which is a cube number. Okay, 8 is a cube number because 2 cube is 8. Right. Number 4, a prime number, which is a prime number. 8, 24, 25, 36, 39, no, 41. 41 is a prime number, which has only 2 factor, 1 and the number 41 itself. Now for D part, put one pair of bracket into this calculation to make it correct. Okay, let me see the guess and check. If you put the brackets on the first 2 numbers, all right, let me show you. Bracket 10 subtract 12 divides 4 and plus 2. No, it's not equals to 8. Doesn't make sense. All right, so if I put the bracket on the middle 2 numbers, let's see, between the 4 and the 12, it's 9. No. Now put the bracket on the last 2 numbers, between the 4 and 2, it's 8. Yes. So the one pair of bracket is between 4 and 2. Now for part E, by writing each number in the calculation correct to one significant figure, estimate for the value of you must show all your working. So one significant figure of 596, it is 5. The next number is 9. So add 1, it becomes 6, and the rest of the 2 numbers are replacing with zeros. Multiply 0.04 is a significant number. So first significant number is 4 in this number, decimal number. So next number is 7, more than 5. So add 1, it becomes 5 over square root. 8 is the first significant number. The next would be 6. So adding 1, it becomes 9.00. Okay, so this is 600. Multiply 0.05 divided by root 9 is just 3. Right? Simplify. 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, and 0, 0. So it becomes 200. Multiply 0.05. Let me simplify. 200 times 0.05, which is equals to 10. Now for part F, calculate, give your answer in standard form. Okay, it must be in standard form. So what is 8 times 10 to the power 6? 8 with 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because you move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yes. multiply, which we have 0.00030. Okay, so it's -2, not the zero at the end, sorry. Now you have to move 1 and 2 unit over here, it's -2, so it becomes 0.03, right? 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 times 0.03. So let me simplify this. 0.03 times 8 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, this is 4 zeros. This is 24 with 4 zeros. 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit, 5 unit. So it is 2.4 times 10 to the power 5. We are moving to the left, so it is positive 5 power. This is in standard form. Part G, write this, write 2160 as a product of its prime factors. Okay, so 216 prime factors are given. So if we do 216, it is a 1 mark question, so no need to do a large calculation. In 216 multiplying by 10, this is 2160. 216 prime factors are 2 to the power 3 and 3 to the power 3, which is given to us in the question, right? 10 prime factorization is 2 times 5 is 10, right? Further simplification, 2 to the power 3 and 1, 2 to the power 4 times 3 to the power 3 times 5. That is the prime fact. These are the prime factors for 2160. Question number 2, part A. In the diagram, BCG is a straight line. BC, where is G? BC, sorry, it's a triangle. B, C, and G. This is a triangle. ABCD, ABCD, and E to F. These are two parallel lines. All right. Number 1, find the value of x. Give a geometrical reason for your answer. The value of x is over here. Okay. So as we know, this line and this line, when two lines are parallel and they are intersecting with one line, so these two angles are equal. They are alternate angles. Angle x is 38 degrees because of alternate angles. Right. Now, the second, find the value of y. Give a geometrical reason for your answer. Okay, where is y? Y is over here. Okay, so this angle and this angle is same. Since these are parallel lines, so these two are corresponding angles. This is one transverse line. There, this is 69. They are corresponding angle. Okay, now for the third part, find the value of z. Where is z? Z is over there. Okay, so this angle is 38, this angle is also 38 because these two are vertically opposite angles, right? Y is 69. Since this is a straight line, so what is that angle? From 180, take away 69. 180 minus 69 is 111. Okay, now easily figure out the angle Z. So angle Z would be from consider this as a triangle, right? Angles in our triangles add up to 180, right? So from 180, take away 111 and take away 38. Okay, 180 minus 111 minus 38, that angle is 31 degrees. So the angle Z is 31 degrees. All right, so to get the x, we use a concept of alternate angles. To get y, we use a concept of corresponding angles, and to get z, we use two concepts: the vertically opposite angles and the angle on a straight line add up to 180, and then we have to add all the three angles of a triangle up to 180. Now for part B, R, S, and T. R, S, and T. These are the points on the circle with the center O. The line XY touches the circle at T. It means it is tangent to the circle. this line is tangent to the circle at T. Number one, write down the mathematical name of the line XY. Obviously, that line is a tangent to the circle at point T. It is a tangent. Second part, write down the mathematical name for the line SR. S to R is a chord of the circle, right? Now, for the third part, Toby thinks the shape RST is a right angled triangle. R S and T. This is a right angle triangle, he thinks. Give a geometrical reason why he is incorrect. It is not a right angle triangle. It is a right angle triangle if S to T it passes through the center O, and if ST is a diameter, then we can say that the triangle over the diameter is a right angle triangle, right? Okay, the reason is since line ST does not passes through the center of a circle, it is not a diameter of a circle. So triangle RST is not a right angle triangle. All right. Question number 3, Jack does a survey about cycling. Part A, the bar chart shows a percentage of the people in each age group who use a bicycle. Percentage of the people and the age in years. 0 to 9 years, 19, okay, 70 plus, okay. And the percentage of the people who are using bicycle. Okay. Number one, write down the percentage of the people aged 60 to 69 who use a bicycle. Okay, 60 to 69 who used a bicycle, 30%. 30% of the people used bicycle between 20 and 40. Second part, 980 people in a survey are in 30 to 39 age group. Work out how many of these people use bicycle. Okay, 30 to 39, the percentage is 40%. Okay, so we can say 40% of the people, which are 980, in a survey are in this age group, right? And this age group is, we know, 40%. So 40% of 980 is 40% of 980 is 392 people use a bicycle. Part B, Jack makes 18 cycling trips in 1 year. Okay, each cycling trip lasts 23 minutes. Find the total time Jack spent cycling in this year. Give your answer in hours and minutes. Okay, so one cycling trip is last for 23 minutes. And he did 18 trips. 18 trips is 23 minutes. Multiply by 18 in 1 year. Okay, so we can say 23 times by 18 is 414 minutes he spent in a year to complete his 18 cycling trips. But we have to convert the answer in hours and minutes. So how many hours in 414 minutes? Okay, so to get this, 414 is divided by 60 because each hour has 60 minutes. 414 divided by 60, so you will get 6.9 hours. Okay, so basically 6 hours and 0.6 hours and 0.9. 0.9 is times again by 60 to get minutes. 0.9 times by 60, the minutes are 54 minutes. So the number before the decimal tells you the number of hours, which is 6, and the second number tells you about the minutes. So you have to multiply that with 60 to get the minutes. Now for part C, the table shows where 240 people cycle the most. Okay. Number of people, pie chart, sector angle, the roads, cycle paths, parks, and others. Number 1, complete the table first. Okay, total number of peoples are 240. All right. So the people do the cycling on roads are 84 out of 240. So 84 people out of 240 people, multiply the whole pie chart sector angle is 126. It is done. 72 people out of 240 people, multiply by 360. 48 people out of 240 people, multiply by 360. 36 people out of 240 people, multiply by 360, the whole pie chart sector angle. 72 over 240 times it by 360, which is 108 degrees. 48 over 240 divided times by 360, 72 degrees. 36 over 240 times by 360, which is 54 degrees. Okay, the table is completed. Number 2, complete the pie chart to show this information. All right. Okay, the roads are already done, 126. The next is, if you can measure 72, where is the protector? All right. If I'm putting that over there, the next is 108. 108 for cycle path. 10, 20, 30, 90, and this is 100. 108 is a number before 110. This is 110. So two numbers before 110 is 108. This is 108. 108. And it represents the cycle path. Okay, the next is 72. 72. Here we have 70 and we have 72. This is 72. 72 is for in the parks. And the last is 54, which is in others. Let's see, is it 54? Yeah, it is exactly 54. You can see it's 50 and then 4 number. 54. Yeah. Okay, moving to part D. A bicycle cost $720, one bicycle. Okay. Carlo buys 1/5 of the cost as a deposit. 1/5 of the cost. How much he deposit? 1/5 of 720. He deposit $144. This is a deposit. All right. Okay. He pays the rest of the money in equal monthly payments of $16. Work out how many monthly payments Carlo pays. Okay. How many monthly payments? In 1 month, he paid $16. The next month, again $16. How many months he has to pay $16 to pay the rest of the money? Okay, what is the rest of the money? Rest of the money is from 720, subtract the deposit, 144. How much is left? 720 subtract 144, 576. Okay. Okay. In 1 month, he pay 16. In how many months he has to complete 576? So divided by $16. 576 divided by 16. He paid 36 months, 36 monthly payments Carlo makes to complete the rest of the money. Question number 4, part A. A parallelogram ABCD has a sides 8 centimeter and 6 centimeters. Okay, ABCD is a parallelogram. We have A, B, C, and some D. This is 6 centimeter, 6 centimeter, 8 centimeter, and 8 centimeter. All right. Line AB and BC has been drawn by constructing triangle ACD. You have to construct a triangle A, C, and some D over here. Complete the parallelogram, use a ruler and compass only, and leave in your construction arcs. Okay, so for parallelogram, we know that if AB is 6 centimeter, then C to D is must be 6 centimeter. Okay, so let me use a compass and a ruler and measure the length of 6 centimeter. As you can see here, we have a centimeter, right? 6 centimeter from 0. All right, the length of 6. Yeah, that's 6. So put the compass on C because AB is 6, then C to D must be 6. And draw an arc. Okay. Now B to C is 8 centimeter, then A to that D should be 8 centimeter. Open the compass of length 8. This is from 0 and this is 8. You can see. Not exactly 8. A bit wider. Yeah, that's 8 now. Put it on point A and draw the arc. Now the two arcs intersect at this point, and that is a point D. Now make a triangle A, C, and D. Join with CD and join the D with A. Now, this is how the parallelogram look like. Now for part B, number 1, describe fully the single transformation that maps shape A onto shape B. Look at A and look at B. These two shapes are translation, not enlargement, not rotation, not reflection. Obviously, this is an enlargement. If you fix the reference point, these two are the reference point, how much it is translated. 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit, 5 unit, 6 unit. 6 units to the left and 2 units up. So it is translation. 6 units left and 2 up. So we can write this down as a vector that 6 units left, so minus 6, and 2 units up, so it is positive 2. Horizontal and vertical translation. Second part, on the grid, draw the image of shape A after a rotation 90-degree anti-clockwise about the center 5 and 1. So first we have to label the center 5, 1. X is 5 and the Y is 1. This is the center, right? We have to rotate the shape 90-degree anti-clockwise. Okay, let me use a tracing paper for this because tracing paper is allowed to you in the examination hall. Let me show you in the instruction. Where is the first page? Yeah. So you can see in the instruction, you may use a tracing paper. So it is allowed, right? So you can use a tracing paper and trace a shape about the center 90-degree and anti-clockwise. This would be the rotation. Okay, let us trace the shape. I don't have the tracing paper, so I'm using a separator basically. So you have to trace the shape. This is A, and that is the center of rotation, right? And the orientation is 90-degree anti-clockwise. This is anti-clockwise. Wait. This is how the shape after rotation look like. So these are the vertices. 2, negative 1 is a vertex. 2, negative 3 is the vertex. 4 and minus 1 is a vertex. You have 5, negative 3 is a vertex, and this is 5, 1, and we have 4, 1 is a vertex, right? Okay, we can say this, this, these two, and we have this and this. Yeah. Let me draw the shape. This is how the shape will look like after rotation 90-degree anti-clockwise about the center, which is 5 and 1. Question number 5, part A. The scatter diagram shows the distance traveled and the cost of each of 12 taxi journeys. Okay, the cost and the distance traveled. Number 1, the scatter diagram shows a positive correlation. Is this statement true or false? Give a reason for your answer. Okay, is it true or false? Let's see. Okay. So the distance is in kilometers, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 kilometer. These are the cost, 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, $25. Okay, so when the distance increases, you can see the cost is also increasing, right? So it is a positive correlation. Yes. Yes, because when distance increases, cost also increases. Second part, on one journey, the cost per kilometer traveled was much more expensive than on all the other journey. Draw a ring around this point on the scatter diagram. Okay, so on 1 kilometer, one journey, there is a one journey where the cost per kilometer travel is much more expensive than on all the other journey, and that cost is much more expensive. As you can see, here the x is 1 and the cost is 15. So when they traveled 1 kilometer, the cost gives $15. The cost is $15. Number 3, draw a line of best fit on the scatter diagram. So let me draw the line of best fit. You can choose this line, yes. You can take any other line of best fit. It might be different in your case. Now for the fourth part, another journey is 8 kilometer long. Use your line of best fit to find an estimate of the cost for this journey. 8 kilometers. 8 kilometer line of best fit. This is 8 kilometer. The cost of the journey okay is between 19 and 18, so we can say 18.5 according to my line of best fit is $18.5. It might be different in your case. Okay, part B. Arit, Luke, and Mari share the cost of a taxi journey. The cost is $26.40. Number 1, calculate how much Arit pays if they share the cost equally. Okay, the cost is shared equally. So the cost $26.40 divide equally among the three. So how much he pays? 26.40 divided by 3, that is 8.8. So he paid $8.80. The second part, they decide to share the cost in proportions to the distance they each travel in the taxi. All right, so the total cost we know is $26.40 divided by the total ratio, which is divided into 12, 3 and 7.5, the sum of 12 plus 3 plus 7.5, and that is 26.40 divides, let me add them up, 12 plus 3 plus 7.5, that is 22.5. Okay, 26.40 divided by the answer, and that is 1.1733. Okay, now we have to find how much more Arit pays than if they share the cost equally. Okay, let me do for Arit, right? Okay, as we know that Arit travels 12 kilometers. So this 12 ratio is for the first one. So we can say 26.40 divided by the total 22.5 multiply by 12, so that cost is 14.08. 14.08. Okay, this much he has to pay. Now when they share equally, so equal share means everyone has to share $8.80, right? So what we have to do when they share equally, we can say from 14.08 subtract the equal share 8.8. Subtract 8.8, how much? Which is $5.28, $5.28. Now for part C, Jen invest some money from his taxi company. He invests $18,600 at a rate of 1.7% per year compound interest. Calculate the value of investment at the end of 6 years. It is a compound interest. The value of investment is A. If your answer correct to the nearest dollars, okay, A equals to P into 1 plus R to the power T. That is a formula for compound interest. We have to solve for the amount. The investment is $18,600. 1 plus the interest rate is 1.7%. So dividing by 100 and the amount of years is 6. Just simplify 1.7 divided by 100, add up with 1 and take its power of 6 and multiply with 18,600. This much is the value of investment, which is 20,579.6, 79 rounded to 80. So which is $20,580. Question number 6, part A. This is a recipe to make an ice cream for 6 people. 270 milliliter of cream, 270 milliliter of milk, 100 grams of sugar, and 4 egg yolks. Tom makes ice cream for 10 people. Number 1, work out how much milk he uses. Okay, so for 6 people, he used the milk of 270 milliliters, right? So 270 milliliters of milk for 6 people, right? And so for the 10 people, so times it by 10. 270 divided by 6 times it by 10, so 450 milliliter of milk he used for the 10%. Now for the second part, the mass of all the ingredient Tom used is 1100 grams. After Tom heats the mixture, this mass reduced by 15%. Find the mass of the mixture after heating. So mass of the mixture after heating is, before it was 1100 grams, now it is reduced. It means 15% of 1100 gram is reduced, right? So basically from the total, from the initial mass of all ingredients, we have to subtract the reduction of 15% of the original. Let me simplify. 15% of 1100, and this is 165. Okay, 1100 minus 165, so 935 grams is the mass after heating. Third part, Tom lets the mixture cool to 5 degrees Celsius. He then puts into the freezer to cool it to minus 18 degrees Celsius. Find the difference in these temperatures. 5 degrees Celsius, subtract the difference between minus 18 degrees Celsius. This is 5 plus 18, and that is 23 degrees Celsius. Moving to part B, number 1, in a factory, the machine fills 25,920 tubes of ice cream in 8 hours, right? Work out the number of tubs, okay, the machine fills in 1 minute, okay? So 8 hours is equals to 8 times of 60 minutes, because we are dealing with minutes, which is 480 minutes. 8 hours has 480 minutes, right? So in 480 minutes, the machine fills to 25,920 tubs. How much tubs the machine fills in 1 minute? So for 1 minute, we can do 25,920 divided by 480. 25920 divides 480. 54 tubs in 1 minute. Now for the second part of B, a pack of ice cream contains 6 tubs. One pack of ice cream has 6 tubs. There are 120 packs in a tray. There are 24 trays on a truck. Work out how many tubs of ice cream are on the tub. So 24 tubs, 24 trays, multiply by 120 packs in one tray, multiply by 6 pack of ice cream containing 6 tubs. So multiply all of them, you will get the answer 24, 120 and 6, which is 17,280. Now for part C, Mario sells ice cream in 5 flavors. The table shows a relative frequency of some of the ice cream's flavors Mario sells. Vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, coconut and banana. Relative frequencies we have given. Mario sells 3 times as many chocolate ice creams as banana ice creams. Let's say the banana ice creams are X and the chocolate ice creams are 3 times of X. Number 1, complete the table. As we know, the sum of the relative frequency should be equals to 1. The vanilla is 3.4, the chocolate is 3x, the strawberry is 0.18, the coconut is 0.12, and the banana is x, and their sum should be equals to 1. Right? Let me add them up. 0.34 and adding 0.18 and 0.12. This is 0.64. 0.64 plus 3x and x becomes 4x. This is equals to 1. So 4x is from 1, take away 0.64. 1 subtract 0.64, this is 0.36. Okay, now what is x? X is 0.36 divided by 4. That is 0.09. Okay, the banana is 0.09, which is just x, and the chocolate is 3 times of 0.09. That is 0.27. And their all of flavors, 5 flavors, sum should be equals to 1. Second part, 1 week Mario sells 450 ice creams. Find how many strawberry ice creams Mario expect to sell. Okay, strawberry ice creams are this much. 0.18 multiplied by 450. 0.18 times 450, that is 81 ice creams are strawberry. Now for third part, the probability that any customer is an adult is 0.7. The first customer and the second customer, part A, complete the tree diagram. Adult is 0.7, then the child should be 0.3 because the sum of the probability should be equals to 1. If we have 0.7 and 0.3, their sum should be equals to 1. Adult is 0.7, child is 0.3, adult 0.7, child is 0.3. Part B, find the probability that the first 2 customers are adults. So 0.7 times 0.7, we have 0.7 times 7 is 49. 0.49 is the probability. Question number 7, part A, find the parameter of the triangle. Parameter is sum of all sides. 7 plus 10 plus 4. This is 7 plus 14, and that is equals to 21. So 21 centimeter is the parameter. Part B, the diagram shows a shape made from 2 rectangles. Calculate the area of the shape. Okay, so to get the area of the shape, let me break the shape into 2 rectangles. Okay, this side is 18.6. This is also 18.6. This length is 4. This length is 4. We can easily find out the area of the top one, which is length times width. Now for this, what is that length and this length? Okay, so if the whole length is 13.5, this length is 4. What is that length? Okay, this length is from 13.5, take away 4. 13.5 subtract 4, the length is 9.5. If this whole length is 18.6, this is 7, this is 7, what is that? This is from 18.6 subtract 7, subtract 7, which is 4.6. This length is 4.6, this length is 4.6. Okay, to calculate the area of a shape, we have to calculate the area of two rectangles, right? The first rectangle is length times width, which is 18.6 times by 4, plus the second rectangle is 4.6 times 9.5. Let me calculate the two. Sorry. 18.6 times by 4, that is 74.4, plus 4.6 times 9.5, 43.7. Okay, 43.7 add up with 74.4. This becomes 118.1. 118.1 centimeter square. That is the area of the shape. Now for part C, the diagram shows a right angle triangle ABC, A, B and C. Calculate the area of a triangle. Area of a right angle triangle is always equals to half base times height. We have the base but we don't know the height. Since it is a right angle triangle, so to get the height we can get the height by using two methods, by Pythagoras theorem or by using a trigonometric ratios, right? No, not by trigonometric ratios, because we don't know this angle C and B. It is better to use a Pythagoras theorem. So Pythagoras theorem says hypotenuse its square equals to base square plus the height square. This is the height AB. Okay, so 27.2 its square minus 24 square equals to height square, right? Let me simplify and solving for the height. We have 27.2 its square minus 24 square is 163.84, and take its square root to solve for the height. Square root of answer, the height is 12.8. 12.8 centimeter is the height. This is 12.8. Okay, now we have the height. Just plug into the formula and get the area, which is half. The base is 24 and the height is 12.8. Okay, 12.8 times by 24 and divided by 2. This is 153.6. 153.6 centimeter square. Part D, calculate the volume of a sphere with the diameter 5.25 centimeter. The volume of a sphere is this. So it's pretty easy. We have given the formula for the volume of a sphere, which is 4 over 3 pi times radius square. What is a diameter? The diameter is this much, and the radius is half of a diameter. So the radius is 5.25 divided by 2. 5.25 divided by 2, that is 2.625. That is the radius. Plug over here, 2.625 its whole cube. Okay, so take its cube, multiply it by pi, multiply by 4, divided by 3. So the volume is 75.766, or you can round it to 75.8 cubic centimeter. Question number 8, part A. The diagram shows a net of a solid. Number 1, write down the mathematical name of the solid. Obviously, this is a net of a cuboid. Now for second part, find the volume of the solid when the x value is 4. We have to figure out the volume of a cuboid. So the volume of cuboid is length into width into height. The length and the width is x, and x, the height is 10. So x is 4. 4 times 4 times 10. 4 times 4 is 8, and 8 times 10 would be, sorry, 4 times 4 is 16. And 16 times 10 is 160 cubic centimeter. Third part, write down an expression in terms of x for the volume of a solid. Okay, so volume of a solid is again volume of a cuboid, which is length into width into height. The length is x, the width is x times the height is 10. So it is 10x square. Part 4, find the value of x when the volume of a solid is 360 cubic centimeter. So the volume we have given is 360. This would be equals to 10x square. 0 is cancelled with 0. So 36 equals to x square. Taking a square root on both sides. So 6 would be equals to x. Root of 36 is 6. So this is 6. X is 6. And x, is the width, length and the width of the cuboid, yes. So it should be positive because root 36 is plus minus 6. We cannot take a negative. Dimensions never be negative. Now for part B1, complete the table of values for this function when x is 3, 4 and 5. Okay. The function is 2 into x is 3, its square, plus 3, that is 21. And the next is when x is 4, 36, and when x is 5, 55. Second part on the grid, draw the graph of the function from 0 to 5. When x is 0, the y value is 0, this point. When x is 1, the y value is 3. X is 1, y is 3. 1, 2, and 3. X is 2, y is 10. X is 2, y is 10. X is 3, y is 21. 3, we have 20 and 21. X is 4, y is 36. 4. This is 30, this is 35, and that is 36. And for 5, it is 55. Corresponding to 5, we have 50. This is 5 and this is 55. Okay, let me join all of them to get a smooth curve. Okay, this is how the graph look like for that function. Now for the third part, use your graph to solve this equation for x is between 0 to 5. Okay. So the equation we have is y equals to 2x square plus x. So 2x square plus x is just y. Plug over here. Y equals to 30. That is the line. Okay. So if I can draw the line y equals to 30. This is the line y equals to 30. And find out the solution at what point the line cuts. Okay. That is 3.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3.65. 3.65. Question number 9. Samir leaves home at 2 p.m. He jogs 6 km to a cafe at a constant speed of 8 km per hour. Okay. He stops to rest for 1 hour. He then walks back home at a constant speed and arrives at 4:36 p.m. Part A on the grid, draw the travel graph to show Samir's whole journey. Alright, so we have given that Samir leaves home at 2 p.m. So at 2 p.m. he leaves home. The distance traveled is only 0 km. He jogs 6 km to a cafe. This is a distance. At a constant speed, we have given the speed and we have given the distance. Okay, we know that speed is distance over time. We have to solve for the time. So time would be equals to distance over speed. The distance traveled is 6 km. The speed is 8 km per hour. So 6 out of 8 time 6 divides 8 is 45 minutes. All right. Okay, so he jogs 6 kilometer. So for 6 kilometer, we have from 2 p.m. The next is adding 45 minutes. So it is 2:45. So 2:45 is in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is 2:45. So 2:45 and 6. He at 2 p.m. he leaves the house. The distance traveled is 0. At 2:45 p.m. he leaves. He reached at the cafe, which is at a distance of 6 kilometer from his home. Then he stops to rest for 1 hour. So 1 hour is a rest from 2:45 to 3:45. The rest. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is 3:45. It is rest. He's in the cafe. Okay. Now he then walks back home at a constant speed. At a constant speed, he walks home and arrive at 4:36. Okay, this is 4:30, 4:33, and 4:36. This point. Okay, let me join all of them to get the travel graph for the Samir to show his whole journey. All right. Now for part B, calculate Samir's average speed for the whole journey. So we know that average speed is total distance traveled divided by the total time taken. Okay, so how much is a total distance traveled? You can see he leaves home, the distance is 0. He reached cafe, he traveled a distance of 6 kilometer. Then he is at rest inside the cafe, and then from cafe to back home again a distance of 6 kilometer. This distance is 6, this distance is 6, so 6 plus 6, the total distance is 12. So we can say the total distance he traveled is 6 plus 6, that is 12 kilometer. Okay, now let's figure out the total time taken. So the total time taken is from 2 p.m. till 4:36 p.m. 4:36 subtract 2. So this is basically 2 hours and 36 minutes. Okay, so let me solve for the average speed. Total distance traveled divided by the total time taken. So 2 hours and 36 minutes is basically 12 over 5, 13 by 5. 12 divided by answer. This is 4.615, or we can say 4.62 kilometer per hour. That is average speed. Question number 10, part A, you have to solve this equation. So 4x becomes 3 and 7 shift on the other side becomes plus 7. So 4x is 3 plus 7 is 10. X is 10 over 4. So that is 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4, or 2.5. Part B, we have to simplify. Number 1, x to the power 6 times 2. This is x to the power 12. Second part, we have 5 times 2 and times we have x to the power 3 and x to the power 2. So when the bases are same, we can add the powers times y to the power 4 and y to the power 2. Oh, okay, 5 times 2 is 10 and x to the power 5 and y to the power 6. Part C, expand and simplify. Second part, first one is 4a plus 5 minus 2 times of a minus 2 times minus 1 is plus 2. 4a minus 2a plus 5 and plus 2. So 4a minus 2a, it becomes 2a, and 5 plus 2 is 7. Number 2, so we have to distribute d with d minus 3 and plus 7 in with the d minus 3. So d times d times 3, 7 times d, and 7 times 3. Okay, this is d square. From 7 take away 3 is positive 4d and negative 21. So d square plus 4d minus 21. All right. So that was the last question of our paper. If you have any queries, please let me know in the comment section and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Take care.